What you think about, you bring about. And so a lot of the time, people think about the things that they desire and the things that they want. A lot of the times when you're thinking about it, you're actually thinking about the absence of it. You've got to be able to figure out what that feeling is, what that emotion is, create that emotion right now. Absolutely everything in your life is being created out of your imagination. What's going on, people? What's good? It's been a minute. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know that I have seemingly abandoned YouTube for a while. I promise you I have not. I just, quite frankly, I just underestimated how much work was going to take. Pardon me, I'm on the road, so there's probably a little bit of wind and all of that stuff. It works better for the lighting to keep the top open. But I've received quite a lot of messages from you guys, because I did promise that I was going to be making weekly YouTube videos, but obviously I just couldn't physically do that, because, you know, for me, first and foremost, I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. So if anything requires my attention, if my business requires my attention, it's what's going to get the majority of my attention, you know, as opposed to YouTube. And as much as I want to do this, and I am back on YouTube, I will be a little bit more consistent. I can't promise that it's going to be every week or every Friday or whatever it was that I was doing it before, but it will definitely be a little bit more consistent than it has been. It has been many months that I haven't posted a video, but I also was getting quite a few messages from some of you guys who follow me on Instagram. If you don't connect with me on Instagram, I post quite frequently on Instagram and Twitter, and so follow me on there, sir.michaelo. On Instagram and Twitter. Let's stay connected on there. I want to hear all your feedback. I want to stay connected to you, all of that good stuff. YouTube, I post, you know, ever so often, as you may have noticed if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please do that now before we go on. But anyway, I felt like doing this video today because I've been getting a couple of messages over the last few weeks. I think I posted something on Instagram a while ago about being careful about the words that you're speaking, being careful about what you're putting out into the atmosphere, because you are creating your life. You are a creator. You have been given the same power as God to be able to. God is the creator of the universe. You are the creator of your universe. And I've always said that your words are creating your universe. And somebody reached out to me and they said, well, look, I've been saying words, I've been doing affirmations, I've been putting this stuff out into the atmosphere for the longest time, and I just haven't seen results. I just haven't seen things happen in my life like I have put out there. What could possibly be going on? Very good question. And so I wanted to come on here and address that and give a little bit more insight and a bit more scope to that subject, because I think a lot of us, you know, especially those who talk and teach about law of attraction, there are some important elements that are left out of the conversation when we talk about law of attraction. 100% your words are important. The words that you're uttering are important, but also your thoughts and your feelings and your imagination all play a very important role, probably even more than your words. Not to downplay or to decrease the importance and the intensity of the words that you're speaking, but you've got to think about it. A lot of the times people say that, you know, yeah, what you think about, you bring about. And so a lot of the time people think about the things that they desire and the things that they want. But what a lot of people don't realize is that sometimes the thing that you're thinking about, you're not thinking about it in the way that you're supposed to be thinking about. How do I mean by that? A lot of the times when you're thinking about the things, let's say it's a relationship that you want to manifest, or a new job, or a certain amount of money, or a new career, something, whatever it might be. A lot of the times when you're thinking about it, you're actually thinking about the absence of it, right? And if you're thinking about the absence of it, all you're going to continue to perpetuate is the absence of it. When we say that your thoughts are creating the things around you, really what we mean by that is that your thoughts are supposed to spark an emotion. Everybody desires something because you believe that you are going to believe you're going to feel a certain way once you receive that thing, right? The key then is to be able to find out what that emotion is, what that feeling is. Is it relief? Is it excitement? Is it happiness? Whatever that feeling is, you need to be able to get a hold of that feeling prior to the thing even manifesting, because that is how you bring about manifestation. That is how you're able to speed up the manifestation process. You've got to be able to figure out what that feeling is, what that emotion is that you feel you are going to be. Let's say, for example, you're looking to manifest a new job. What are the feelings that you are going to feel once you've got that job? If you have got that job right now, how are you going to feel? It's going to be a sense of excitement. It's going to be a sense of relief. It's going to be a sense of freedom to a certain degree, right? All of those things, you've got to be able to create that emotion right now. Right now, you've got to be able to create that emotion. So when we say your thoughts become things, yes, your thoughts are the starting point, but your thoughts needs to advance into emotion. Emotion is energy in motion, right? If you're a follower on this channel, when I say something that catches your attention, I like you to type it in the comments so that you can reinforce it to yourself, right? Emotions are energy in motion. I want you to type that in the comment section right now. Reinforce that to yourself, because that's what it is. Emotion is simply a thought with energy behind it, right? And that is what you are ultimately aiming for. Whatever it is that you feel like you are going to manifest, you want to manifest that thing because of this feeling. It's really important to understand that when we say your thoughts that turn to things, what we really mean is the emotion that thought that you're entertaining is creating behind you. You can't be thinking about abundance. You can't be thinking about making a lot of money, but you are sad half the time, right? Because if you had received that money, you wouldn't be sad, would you? You would have a sense of excitement. You'd have a sense of relief. You'd have a sense of freedom and comfort about it. You wouldn't be so uptight and so tense. Right? So when you say that you think about the things that you desire, pay attention to the emotions you're feeling when you're thinking about the things that you want, right? That is the key. You've got to pay attention to that emotion. What is that emotion when you're thinking about the job? What is that emotion when you're thinking about the new career, the new business? What is that emotion when you're thinking about the relationship? If the feeling is fear, if the feeling is anxiety, if the feeling is uncertainty, if there's a little bit of panic when you think about these things, that is a sign to you that you are not thinking about it in the way that you're supposed to. It means you are more focused internally on the lack of it as opposed to the obtaining of it, right? Thoughts turn to things quicker when the thought and the feeling that accompanies it is the one that you are going to obtain if you had already physically manifested this thing, right? So that's point number one to pay attention to. Point number two, imagination. A lot of the time we don't emphasize the importance of imagination in the creation process. Like a very important scripture in the Bible is in the beginning, the Bible says that the Godhead said, let us make man in our own image. Some translations will say, let us make man from our own imagination, right? Your imagination, our imagination as humans, is the magical power that brings us closest to God. It's the thing that is most like God to us, because absolutely everything in your life is being created out of your imagination, right? The problem with a lot of people is they are living by default. The pictures that you are imagining in your mind are not intentional. They are by default. It is whatever comes in from wherever, right? You're not being intentional and on purpose taking the time to look at the pictures of your life. What does your perfect life look like? If everything was perfectly well in your life, if everything was going the way that you want it to go in your life, what would your life look like right now? Where would you wake up? What would that look like? Where would you go to work? What does your office look like? What car will you be driving to work? What is that experience like? What are the kind of relationships that you have? What are the kind of conversations that you're indulging in throughout the day? You've got to be able to take the time, and the best time to imagine, to take yourself into this process is just before bedtime, or just when you wake up in the morning, when you're still a little bit drowsy, but you're not so drowsy that you can still be in control of the imagination. Yeah, and sometimes you might drift and fall asleep while you're doing it. That's okay. It happens. But your imagination is an extremely powerful tool. There's something really special about imagination. When we're imagining, your brain, your subconscious mind doesn't know the reality. It doesn't know the difference between the pictures that you're imagining in your head versus the pictures that are actually happening in your life. As far as your subconscious mind is concerned, the pictures you're feeding it are simply the pictures you're feeding it. And whatever you feed it, it will continue to work to create and attract more of those scenarios into your experience, right? So if you're taking the time out, let me see if I can park here and maybe go and stand by the, can I park here? I might have to park here. I will leave it here, put my hazards on so that I can go down there and talk to you guys properly. Let's get out the car. Let's go somewhere a little bit quiet. Since I last posted, a lot of my life has changed. I have moved to Dubai now. I'm spending the majority of my time here, probably be in the UK and in Europe during the summertime and things like that. But for the most part, for business, for life, I'm a big believer in creating an environment that you find very inspiring. I'm a big believer in creating an environment that you wake up and you're on fire. And for me, for the longest time, Dubai has been that for me. Dubai has provided that backdrop for me. Every time I'm here, I feel alive, and so I made it my reality. Let me teach you an exercise that I did to help build the muscle, that mind muscle of imagination. So I would typically imagine a rare, let's say a rare leaf or a rare flower or a rare feather or whatever it might be, something that you won't usually see in your normal everyday environment, right? This is a case study that I'm teaching you now. I want you to try this exercise. I want you to take something that is unusual for the next 30 days before you go to bed, and when you wake up every morning, I want you to imagine this unusual leaf, this unusual feather. Imagine that somebody is handing it over to you. Do it for the next 30 days, and I promise you, you're going to see it in somewhere in and around your experience. I want you to choose something that is not in and around your experience every day, just so that you can use this as a case study to prove to yourself that the power of imagination actually does work, so that you can begin to start using that for everything else that you might be doing in your life. Anyway, I feel like I've gone on a little bit too much in this video. I hope this helps, man. I hope this helps. Leave some comments in there. I need to hear from you. It's been a little while now, but I promise you I'm back on YouTube. I'm going to be a little bit more, I can't promise that I'm going to have videos every week, but I will be a little bit more frequent than I definitely have been over the past few months. So make sure you leave some comments with me. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. You know, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram. I'm very active on there. I've got a TikTok as well. Same thing, Sir Michael O. The details will be on your screen, and let's connect.